Hello, everyone. Welcome to One Rope Short of a Ring, an AEW podcast. I'm Josh. This is Luke.
Hello.
And we're here to discuss AEW Dynamite.
Come on, Josh, you gotta say it like you always do, right?
Man, I know. I'm trying to get out of just saying Dynamite every time, but it's not happening.
Yeah. As is becoming routine now, we're dropping into the flow a little bit. What did you think of this week's episode? Because we were quite negative, or not? Okay, negative might be the wrong word. We didn't give last week. We went in on it a little bit for justified reasons, I think. And I think after listening to other people talk about it, we weren't alone. I was somewhat vindicated, I think, in our opinions. In the most of the things we said were generally kind of the widespread opinions that some of it's actually a bit strange and some of them being done a bit too much and all this sort of stuff. But they seem to have not. I think what I said last week was that I would only be concerned if those things continued to then happen, right? And they haven't, so
yeah,
I can't complain.
I agree. There's some bits that were slightly strange, but we'll get on to this.
Yes, there were some oddities, but there's always going to be oddities. I don't mind oddities. I do mind, I think again the things last. Go back and listen. I'm not gonna repeat it. There's no point in me going over it again.
Yeah.
Let's jump into it, Josh. Do you want to take us through this first match? Like, what have we got?
Yeah, first match. We go straight into it. It's Rey Fenix and Nick Jackson.
Yes, so that's obviously half the Lucha Bros and half of
Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks. What was the backing to this, Josh?
Yeah, I don't.
What's the story?
Yeah, I'm as in the dark as you are, to be honest. Like it was all set up with the beatdown section last week, where Proud and Powerful beat down the Young Bucks, and like all the different tag teams got involved. And we chatted about it last week. Like, go back and listen to our opinions on that if you want the full breakdown of it. But it set up two matches for tonight. One of which apparently was Rey Fenix versus Nick Jackson.
Yeah.
I don't really know why.
Yeah.
Because Lucha Brothers weren't actually involved at all. It was just Proud and Powerful beating down Young Bucks.
Yeah, it was an oddity. I would have, again, Proud and Powerful, like one of those versus one of these might have made sense, but Proud and Powerful are obviously, Santana and Ortiz, obviously both preoccupied later on the night against Private Party. But then again, the Private Party match is also a bit of a strange one. That doesn't seem to have much. Whatever. This. Let's focus on the match. Let's. Because I think this was basically just meant to be. Let's get a good, solid opening match, right? It doesn't have to be this kind of crazy, intricate story, I suppose. This was pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of Nick and Matt. They're very good. I feel like I have to preface this every time I say anything negative about the Young Bucks. They're very good at what they do. But the fact is, I love Rey Fenix, and this match kind of highlighted, I think, what Nick is very good at a lot of the time. Right, he managed to keep up with Rey Fenix as well, which is impressive.
Right? Impressive, yeah, its own for sure.
You got I think there's one part where Phoenix is doing kind of his usual rope shenanigans. Right, jumps up onto the second rope and then up onto the top rope, and then I think Nick starts doing the same thing, and they kind of interlinked.
They do have weird, dueling jump rope spots, which is kind of...
Which was cool, I dug it.
Yeah.
This was quite... So I was surprised about the result of this. Have you got anything you want to go into before we just kind of go straight to the ending? Because
not particularly, just you know what these two guys do at this point. If you're a fan of either tag team, you will enjoy this match.
Yeah, 100%.
Just... regardless of result, you'll really enjoy it. There's some serious comic book wrestling as well. Just I jump on this rope and you jump on that rope, and then I do the flippy thing. And
there's the monkey roll or the roll. I think it's called a monkey roll. The roll into the stunner or the cutter. He does that twice.
The first time. The roll builds up momentum, and I was like, it doesn't.
I don't think
look
it does.
Like it, though, does it?
No. It looks cool. I'm in for that excuse. If Phoenix but it doesn't make a difference, but it looks much better. That sounds like Lucha.
You're right.
That makes sense.
You're right.
He hits that twice. That was I remember being kind of surprised by that. The part of the story commentary is pushing is that these two know each other, and they're very familiar with each other's techniques at this point. So For example, there's one part where they get knocked to the outside, and they're both like trying to jump back in, getting pulled out by the other. Like they both know each other's tricks.
Yeah.
It was cool. In general, I really liked this match.
Yep.
Again, not much story to it, but for an opening match, it was solid.
Yeah, it was good. The commentary on this match.
Every time, dude. Every week. It's becoming a recurring thing that I'm noticing is weird.
There's some serious like NPC level commentary on this. Like, there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, doesn't have his tag partner there. This is a singles competition." I'm like, "Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like we all know this. Thanks, man. You really got to get this pinfall to score the victory." And it's like, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
and that happens throughout the night.
I was going to say it's not even just a match. There's some weird commentary spots all the way through. One of the couple, we'll get to them, but commentary is one thing that I'm not concerned about. It's consistently weird to me that at least once a week I go, what? Like, what? Say that again. Like, where me and you, like, we watch it together, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to admit the number of times I'm like, hold on a minute. No, wait. I'm going back. We're rewinding this a little bit. I want to look at that again. No, yeah. Overall, a solid match. Good opening match. Fenix goes over, which is cool. Yeah. I like that result. I don't. What was the actual finish? Do you remember?
I don't, to be honest with you.
We probably should have written that down.
Well,
Nick goes for the handshake at the end. Fenix blows him off. He's like, no, you get no handshake from me.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? We get Nick kind of leaves, like looking a bit disgruntled about the lack of a handshake, but and we're straight into the next match. I think there's no promo or anything, if I remember rightly.
No, nothing between those two.
What's the next match, Josh?
It is our favourite wrestler, Britt Baker, versus Hikaru Shida.
Bloody Baker, dude.
Yeah.
I am so... I don't even know how to word it. I'm just confused. I don't know why she's kind of...
I don't know why she's getting this push. Like,
I don't know if she is anymore. This is the interesting point, right? So she was on the pre-show of Full Gear.
Yeah.
Up until this week, according to the rankings that got released last week, she was the number one contender, and Shida, I believe, was second ranked.
Yeah.
However, now we've got... So Shida goes over in this match. I have very little to say about this match in general, so I'm just going to throw that one out there. Shida wins this match.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that Baker is now not the number one contender, which is curious to me, considering the amount of tension she had at the start of this company, right, in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, what we've said before might have happened. They've kind of cooled off on her. She hasn't really progressed in the ring, from what I can see, in terms of like skill. That is a bit harsh. But I guess
I think she's a perfectly passable wrestler. I just don't like the character. I don't see I just don't get it. I think, and I have a feeling the problem they run into, because the audience never seems that hot on her either. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are. Maybe I'm just misreading it. But no one else seems to quite get it either. Like, okay, she's a dentist.
Well, that's the thing. Like one of the notes I have for this match is just like she lands a suplex and to a resounding meh from the audience.
Yeah,
she lands this big spot where everyone's supposed to pop, and everyone just goes there's no reaction for it at all, which kind of sums up her at the minute, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm still open to them kind of fixing it and changing the direction of our booking a little bit, but at the minute I'm completely not sold. Shida, again, I've been relatively impressed with, though, so I'm happy she goes over here. So I'm assuming we might start getting a build towards her versus Riho.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. I'm down for that. We didn't see Riho this week, of course, but yeah, again, I've got nothing, not to kind of fly past this match. I really have very little to say. Baker gets busted open. Her nose gets busted open.
In a really weird way as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't quite know how she did it, because it's not like she got brain busted or suplexed or anything. I think she suplexed Hikaru, and then her nose was busted open somehow.
Yeah. It was a strange one.
I don't really understand how it happened, but,
there was a pretty brutal backbreaker from Shida, if I remember rightly, right? It looked really stiff. And that was one of the better spots of the match. In fact, a lot of what Shida did looked pretty brutal, right? She ended with a big knee, I think, a big stiff knee.
Yeah, the knee was, really.
But yeah, generally fine, I guess. I'm just not sold on Baker. I want her to, I want to be.
Yeah,
This is the thing. I want to really like it. Just change the goddamn gimmick. I don't want... I complained last week, right, about this idea of 80s style wrestling. Where, I'm a dentist who also happens to wrestle. I don't... I know that's not quite the gimmick, but, it's too close to that.
Yeah,
I don't care if you're DMD.
Well, it's not even that. It's not... Because we were talking about it last week when we were talking about Peter Avalon. And his thing is that he's a librarian, sure, but he's not also top of the card. He's just he's actually a professional jobber.
We'll talk about him later because I love that dude.
Yeah.
He's not the sort of person I expected to love when he first popped up, but he's growing on me a lot.
He's getting there. He's definitely doing a lot better in terms of how he's coming across.
Do you want to take us, because we have a promo next?
Man, this promo is sick. This promo is so good.
I'm kind of. Do you want to walk us through this, Josh? Because I was a little bit.
So yeah, this large lad, this big man going through the subway. And he's got glasses on. And he's got a sweater on. And he's got a backpack. Right, it's supposed to be like a nerd. These two guys breeze past him. One of them knocks into his arm and knocks his glasses off. The other one walks past and steps on his glasses, and they're like, "Hey, nothing personal, kid." And they just carry on, and he gets onto the train, and he's looking through his now broken glasses at this screen, and the screen starts playing this motivational thing, right? It's like, "Oh, do you feel out of control? Do you feel like a loser? Join our club, our special secret club."
Definitely not a group of gimps.
Not a cult.
It's not a cult.
It's not a cult. And you have breaks, flashes where you see some masks and stuff, and it turns into it's a Dark Order promo, right? It's like, join the Dark Order today in a happy-go-lucky way.
Yeah, like you say, do you feel left out? Do you feel like you deserve better? All this sort of stuff. It's again, very promotional group of people walking through hallways. We're now in the Order. And it was just really surreal. I remember it took me again a little bit longer to catch on than I think it should have. I was like, what is this? I'm a bit hit and miss on the Dark Order at the minute, but I like this idea that they kind of adopt the jobbers of the card, right? Or the people that really, because they obviously tried to recruit
Jurassic Express.
It was Marco Stunt specifically.
Yeah, Marco Stunt specifically.
Last week when they beat them. When Dark Order beat Jurassic Express, sorry. And again, I liked it then too. I quite liked the idea of kind of beating people and then exploiting that. It's almost again, to make a WWE comparison, it's a little bit like Bray Wyatt, right? That's sort of the cult.
Yeah.
That he would beat you and break you down and recruit you. I loved it. It was really cool.
It was really good. You should definitely watch it. I'm sure it's up on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, I'm 100%.
You'll definitely be able to see it. And then we've got the Battle Royal.
Excuse me, the what?
I didn't write down the full name.
It's Battle Royale. It's a Royale with cheese.
God damn it.
That's a reference I don't know if you get or not, but that's a question for our movie podcast. Yeah, I didn't write down the full name of this. It's some magic special AEW Battle Royale Diamond
super special friendship ring.
Yeah, because the prize is a diamond, almost 8-carat diamond ring.
It kept saying almost 8-carat, and I'm like, guys, you've got a multi-millionaire as your head of company, couldn't get an exactly 8-carat gold.
I mean, who cares as well? You don't need to point out that it's not quite it, right? As an audience member, I don't care.
I'm not going to look it up and go, that's not 8 carats, actually.
Exactly. So they announced this last week, I believe, right? And we were kind of surprised by the announcement. But it's just a battle royale where the last two compete to win this ring next week.
Yeah.
Have you got a list of the people participating there, Josh? Did you write these down?
I did not, no.
You're bad at this. I wrote them down. You're all right. So we got, first out, we've got Paige. Hangman Page. And I'm just going to rattle through the people we've got. We've got Cassidy, Orange Cassidy. The other best friend who isn't Trent, who I feel I should know the name of, but I'll get there. There's a couple of people in this company I just never seem to remember the name of. Kip Sabian, who is in this as well, is another one of those. I was listening out for his name the entire time.
Well, it's just people that don't have matches a lot, right?
Exactly, yeah. Jimmy Havoc, Marco Stunt, and I believe Jungle Boy.
Yeah, Jungle Boy was there.
Pentagon.
Yeah.
From the Lucha Bros, obviously. Sonny, right? The extravagantly camp individual. Joey Janela, MJF, and Billy Gunn.
Yeah, Billy Gunn comes out. What the fuck?
No, I feel I might be missed on it, but if I am, I will get to it as we kind of go through this match a little bit. But yeah, Billy Gunn was the weird one because Billy Gunn comes out last. Now we knew that Billy Gunn was at least somewhat connected to AEW, but I wasn't really. This isn't where I expected him to pop up. Right, I didn't think this would be where we'd see him.
No, true. To be fair, I don't know what his contract is. I don't know whether this one shot like the DDP thing kind of was.
Yeah. He still looks great.
Yeah, man.
Credit to him. The guy still looks jacked.
Yeah, he's huge. Well, that's the thing as well. Like we were saying, he's legitimately very big for that company in terms of size, just because he's 6'5" and.
So Billy Gunn was always a weird one. That I think people just don't remember how big he is in general, even in WWE or WWF. And he's just always bigger. Like you see him on his own, and you kind of assume his size. And you see him next to other people, even now, and you're like, oh no, oh wow, okay, yeah, you're huge. There's quite a cool. Let's. I won't jump ahead. Let's just jump into this a little bit. So right at the start, we have. Now look, right. I'm not questioning Pentagon's intelligence, but I'm questioning Pentagon's intelligence.
Right.
Because the match is about to start, and we see
hey man,
Fenix,
it me.
right, walking down the. Okay, wait a minute. So Fenix is walking down, and me and Josh looked at each other and we're like, "Oh, he's got his like casual mask on now. He's got a different mask to what he had on for the first match."
Yeah, he had a blue mask on.
So I was like, "Okay, it must be his smart casual outfit." He's got. I like the idea that Lucha have like a wrestling mask, and then like one they sleep in and one they shower in.
Yeah.
They got
one for around the house.
Mask. Yeah,
like
right?
A formal mask.
They got their sexy mask, right? Just all this sort of shit. And he gets on the ring apron and he kind of pats Pentagon on the back. And Pentagon looks at him, he's like, "Yeah!" And he starts doing his like all the hand sign stuff. Now, there's so many questions here. So, one,
what?
Was he not slightly confused as to why Fenix just started coming out? If they hadn't talked about it before.
No, it's just his boy. He's like, hey man, I'm here to back you up. Don't worry.
Okay. Then...
What's your next question,
No, I'm not... So he just takes his... It turns out, this is not Fenix. And how many times has Pentagon been fooled by an imposter luchador?
At least it wasn't himself this time.
He should have, honestly, it wouldn't have mattered. He should have come out as something again.
He would have been like, "Hey dude, how's it going?" He's like, "Yeah, what's up?"
For the third time. Oh, it's me.
Yeah. Attacked by himself for the third time.
Last week? Was it last week
by
or was
the
it the week
same
before?
guy. No, it was last week.
Yeah, by literally the same dude. So he pulls off his mask. It's matey from SCU.
Yeah, not Mark Andrews. Is it Mark Andrews?
I don't remember. I'm still not great with their names, other than Scorpio Sky.
Yeah,
but we will get to why I know Scorpio Sky in a little bit. See, that was like immediately threw me off as to what to expect from this match. But looking at the lineup. Me and you, I feel, both knew who the last two were going to be in this, set. I probably think a lot of people watching it. I don't think we're particularly.
No, not particularly special in this this particular one.
The only wild card I think was Billy Gunn because I don't know what his contract is.
Yeah,
but it was clearly going to be Paige and MJF. That was my prediction at the start.
Yeah, like MJF, needs something big to do after he betrayed Cody. And Paige is just the biggest babyface they had in the ring.
Yeah, without some like major fuckery, they're not going to get rid of Paige in a battle royale like this. Considering that a lot of these other guys are, I don't say jobbers, but they're guys who haven't had that many matches. They're not in the rankings.
All their half a tag team, right?
Exactly.
Like, you're not going to have those guys win over Hangman Page.
There's a couple of cool spots in this though, right? Straight away we get Sonny doing like twerking for Billy Gunn because Billy Gunn loves butts.
And Billy Gunn's like kind of into it.
Billy Gunn's an ass man, dude. He doesn't care what the ass is on.
Man, Billy Gunn's so woke. He doesn't care,
dude. He's an ass is an ass. More power to him, I say. And MJF eliminates Sonny, and Gunn is not happy about it. Right, it's Gunn's like offended that you interrupted his like viewing of ass. And it's amazing to me that I don't know if that makes MJF a heel or not. I don't like.
Yeah, right.
Is that a heel or a face move? Just like I'm not sure.
I guess it's a heel move or just a heat move.
Oh, we should point out Pentagon. Sorry, is eliminated by.
Oh yeah, like, Pentagon just gets like. Yeah, he gets distracted by this other masked Fenix, and then just gets immediately thrown over the side.
Yeah, that's what threw me off because I was like, okay, all right, I've got no idea what's going to happen here. If you're going to start eliminating people like, because I thought Fenix was one of the, if someone was going to win it who wasn't the obvious ones, Fenix was probably pretty high up. Again, he's high ranked as a tag team member. But yeah, sorry. So we get back on track. I'm going to go through a couple of eliminations here because Gunn just kind of starts cleaning house because he's a big dude, right?
Yeah.
He takes out Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah.
Takes out Marco Stunt.
Which was
Havoc
kind of scary.
Comes back in with a stapler.
Yeah, the staple gun. What?
I just don't get it.
What? Ref's discretion, dude.
The refs took a long time to figure out you probably shouldn't let this guy who just got eliminated come back with a weapon.
Yeah, he just starts stapling people.
There were no actual staples.
No.
I think it's a bit weird to use the staple gun if you're not.
Because he obviously did it so that it clicked, so that you could tell he was trying to put staples into people.
I don't mind the staple gun as a weapon because it's like kind of visceral, right? It does get my reaction where I'm like, "Ooh, no!" But if I can clearly see nothing's happening, I'm like, "Okay, right."
Yeah.
So he gets thrown out by a group of referees. Janela gets taken out by Spears. Now, you were quite confused, right? When this match started, you were like, "Oh, I kind of expected Sean Spears to be in this." And literally, the second that that you brought it up during the match, you're like, "Where is Spears?" And suddenly Spears appears and hits Janela off the top rope with a chair because he's the chair man.
He just appears with a chair and hits Joe, and they're in this weird blood feud, which I'm not sure how it ever happened.
I'm not quite like.
He tried to take his tongue or something, and like this way he's involved with Brandy. Like Sean Spears is secretly also a wizard.
Some of the feuds in this company are confusing me, but I mean that's wrestling, right? You've got to have people doing something.
Oh yeah,
I just don't know where it's come from. I don't know why
I'm totally here for it. I'm here for it in a big way, but
exactly. I'm on this road. It's fine. Before I start ranting about Cassidy, have you got any particular spots from this that you loved?
No, I mean they immediately sell Billy Gunn as the big monster, right?
Yes, yeah.
Because it even has the patented monster spot in the battle royale.
Yeah, where they'll jump on top.
Loads of people pile on him and start hitting him and stuff, and then he just throws them all off into all corners of the ring, like 8 dudes all sprawl out.
Usually they give that to Big Show or Braun Strowman or something,
like
right?
Kane or Braun Strowman or
Now I think I said when Billy Gunn was coming out, they announced him 6'5", 280 pounds, right?
6'5", 280. Yeah.
Now I remember saying I was like, I don't know if he's 280. But I'll be honest, man. He gets the ring and takes his shirt off. I'm like, oh, okay, no, never mind.
Okay.
He's huge.
He's really big.
And
again,
yeah. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, helped by the fact that there aren't that many big guys in the
yeah, and again, compared to WWE, or most other companies even, there's just not as many big dudes, right? Then there's another spot involving the other 2 biggest guys in the company, I think, later on, which we'll get to. But, like I said, Billy Gunn gets this monster role, and again, he eliminates 3-4 people. He gets the Orange Cassidy spot. with the silly kicks and the whoa. And then he gets eliminated by MJF, which to me made MJF the biggest face in the world.
MJF comes and throws him out, and the crowd boos him, but we're just, yeah, we just sat there going, yes, thank you.
I know it's like, I know Marks at the minute love Cassidy. I know he's cool. I just don't get it.
But that's like, I don't know.
Am I not meant to?
I wouldn't mind a wrestler like that if it translated into something. But just coming out and doing the super kick spot and the jumping backwards with your hands in your pocket thing over and over again, I get it. Exactly, I get it. Let's do something else.
So like compare it to like say Avalon, right? Who is a comedy wrestler.
Yeah.
To me, Avalon works. He's great.
Totally.
Because he's not usually put into situations where he's placed as like. He's not in the middle of serious stuff. I don't want to say serious, but like not jokey stuff. He's played as a comedy guy, whereas Cassie just tends to be in the middle of other things happening to me.
He's not there for any reason.
Yeah. So like in this, he was just for a lot of this match. He wasn't doing. He was just sitting down in the corner. He was kind of crawling along the bottom rope from corner to corner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if that's part of a spot, it's fine. But if that's your entire role in this match until you do your one kick thing, I just don't. I'm not angry. Yeah. I just don't understand it. Like, whatever. So we get So MJF eliminates Cassidy. Again, much to a pop. This leads to one of the best camera shots in the episode, I think, where so he throws out Gunn. Well, not Gunn, sorry. He throws out Cassidy, and then he's there. You see the camera zooms in on him. He's got like this shit-eating grin on his face, and Billy Gunn's behind him. Looking kind of mad because this is the second time now that MJF has like got in the way of something happening. But first he did it with Sonny, he eliminated Sonny. Now he's eliminated Cassidy, and like MJF very kind of cockily walks back with this big grin on his face and bumps into Gunn. So you get this frame shot of like MJF realizing who's behind him, and Gunn getting progressively angrier until MJF turns. For the record, I loved MJF's reaction though. Usually, I think they have the temptation to make him like this really chicken shit. Again, he'd roll out the bottom of the ring and run away, right?
Yeah.
I liked that MJF like had this look of clearly realizing he'd messed up. Then he turns around and slaps him. He's like, "Go on, then, screw it."
Yeah. He's like, "Come on, do it."
Yeah,
I meant to do that. Whatever.
Exactly. I'd like he messed up, but he isn't a coward about it. He's like, "Screw it, what? I don't care." I can't remember. Like,
I think Billy.
Go on.
Sorry, I was like, Billy Gunn goes to eliminate MJF, right? And then he's pretty close to it, and then Wardlow turns up.
Yes, okay, yeah, I remember. This is where this match got a bit confusing for me. The last, say, 2 minutes. Because MJF... Who was it? Who were the last... Who did commentary say were the last two in? It was...
Oh, it was Jungle Boy. It was Jungle Boy and Page.
Right, yes. Who eliminated Gunn? Was it MJF? I think he went for something, right? And he ducked out.
I think it was. I think it was MJF and he just flipped him over.
Again, heel heat. Because the crowd did not like the fact that Billy Gunn got eliminated by MJF.
No, because it's Billy Gunn. Again, amazing heat. Just kind of one of those things.
Yeah. So the commentary's like, you're down to your final two. And again, Jungle Boy and Page. And I had this moment where I was like, wait a minute. What? Where's MJF gone? I bought into this for a second. I was like, hang on, I was saying to you, I'm going to rewind and check out what happened here, because I feel like I've definitely missed something. But no, it's the classic heel spot, right? He rolled out the ring under the bottom rope, or got outside without going over the top.
Yeah.
And I think he pulled the rope down on Jungle Boy, right? As he was coming off the ropes to kind of knock him out. So MJF is like sitting on the apron, kind of with, again, this giant shit-eating grin, as it's becoming so kind of perfect for that character at this point. As they announced that him and Paige are the two winners, like we predicted. Generally speaking, I loved this match. It was way better than I think it had any right to be. I wasn't really that hyped. It's a battle royale.
Yeah.
But predictable.
Yeah, predictable victory, but for something that could have been like super medium, because it was obviously like kind of thrown together, it was actually kind of impressive.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen next week between him and Paige. I'm not sure I don't know what the progression's going to be. Wardlow, I think, is probably going to play a part in it, right? Because he does a little bit of shenanigans here. There's nothing too significant, really. I'm still not entirely sold on Wardlow. I don't really know what.
Again, I've got to see something else out of him, right?
Yeah.
I get his thing at the minute is that he's the muscle for MJF, but I need to see what he actually does outside of that.
Yeah, I also want to see if he's actually any good in the ring.
Yeah,
we haven't really seen him wrestle yet. We saw him beat down Cody and stuff, but
yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to say about this one?
No, not really. Just excited about the match for next week, I guess.
Yep. Again, predictable but good. That's that. No, if I had to do a description of one sentence, that would be it. Okay, so we've got a backstage promo now during the ad break, or what I'm assuming was during the ad break anyway. And that is with Jericho. Right. This is one of the best sections of the evening. It's odd to me that it was probably not aired in a lot of places. Or I don't know. I don't quite know. I mean, like, whatever. Him and Librarian. It starts with a Librarian backstage, or Avalon.
Yeah.
Who's got a lot of books about dinosaurs for some reason.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It comes up again later. Still don't understand.
It's foreshadowing. It's expert storytelling.
And there's a lot of people he runs into here, right? Jericho kind of walks through the hallway just shit talking for a couple of minutes. He walks past some wrestlers. He walks past Avalon. Who else did he walk past, Josh? Do you remember anyone else other than Marco Stunt?
Oh, he walks past Marco Stunt. He walks past a load of the, what I assume is like old merchandise for the local sports team, and he like says, "Oh, they look rubbish," and everyone goes, "Boo!"
Again, classic heel stuff, right?
Yeah.
And he gets to Marco. He does. I didn't want to go straight to Marco. We've got to because this is the best part of this, I think. And he gets up to Marco Stunt, and he's like, "Well, why someone else with him?" He's like, "Why is your child here topless? Put a shirt on. It's cold. You'll get sick." And Marco Stunt gets like a little bit annoyed, and Jericho's like, "How old are you?" And he's like, 23. And he goes, when were you born? Let me see some photo ID. He's like, "I was born in 96. And he goes, 96? That would make you... Yeah, all right. 23.
He's just like, "Oh, God, I'm old." He just has a moment.
To be fair, I had a similar moment. When he said I was born in 96, no, dude.
Yeah, man.
I'm getting old.
It's hard to be 40 nowadays.
Hey, ouch. Ouch.
This is the law that I'm starting. But
I'm the old man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm grey enough. It's fine. This was a cool little section, but there wasn't really any storytelling again because I think it was mostly just made for the kind of leading up. And leading up to the Jericho promo because they kind of framed it as Jericho's got a big announcement to make.
Yeah.
Do you want to take us through this? As I've been rambling about this backstage. Do you want to take us through this this announcement?
So Jericho comes out and he starts talking about his outburst right from his first pinfall loss to Scorpio Sky.
Yes.
And he says, "Oh, I'm coming out here. I'm here to just say I'm very." I can't do it justice, but he can't physically say the word sorry.
Well, he's saying it's very unbecoming of me as a champion. To have,
a champion shouldn't. Yeah. So he passes the mic over to a guy he calls Big Hurt, which is Jake Hager, and he says sorry.
So every time Jericho needs to say sorry, he just like holds the mic up.
Yeah.
It's the little things, man, that make Jericho so good.
Man, I know he jokes about it. It's part of his thing now that he's the best of all time, but he's getting there, dude. He's
definitely one of.
Yeah. So basically, he cuts this whole promo about, he's sorry about this outburst or whatever, but it's all looking up because next week he gets the thanks that he's been asking for all this time. And obviously, next week is Thanksgiving for Americans.
I mean, you say obviously. I had no clue.
I had no idea, but I imagine it's obvious if you celebrate Thanksgiving.
Sure, if you're American, I'm sure that was a clear thing to you.
Yeah. But he's like, oh, it's Thanksgiving for Jericho. Everyone's thanking me on how I've put the company. Goes through all the points that he's had before. And basically how it's going to be a great celebration of how great Jericho.
Yeah,
that's the whole.
It's just great heel work. I think
it is.
Taking a national holiday as a personal celebration. That's good heel heat. I like
especially it. Thanksgiving. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to tie it all in, it's great. It's great. But then the music hits.
Sorry, it's worth pointing out. He also promised fun, games, prizes, an aquarium, and maybe some clowns.
It's just, obviously. Yeah, we're going to have a big celebration. Basically a big festival, big fiesta. And then SCU's music hits.
Yes. Which,
and
again,
they all come out.
Is obviously because Scorpio Sky got the surprise roll-up on Jericho last week. Again, causing this entire freak-out, blah, 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 as we've already said. But and Scorpio Sky comes out with... it's a great line. I think it's like, it takes a paragon of virtue to come out here and apologise when they do something wrong.
He's like, it doesn't just take a good man. It doesn't just take a great man. It takes a paragon of virtue.
The storytelling in this section in general was fantastic, because I think Sky's like, it's all good and well to say sorry, essentially. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. Yeah. But you're not telling people why you had this tantrum, right? You seem to be leaving that off. He's like, it's because I pinned you, and I did it, right? He was like, it's the greatest moment of my life. He's like... He was saying, I can't remember what the list he gives. He's like, I get home and I partied all weekend. My ex-girlfriend or my crush from high school.
No, my college crush, Melanie.
Yeah, Melanie. That's the one. She called me and we're going on a date next week, whoever it is. And the chant's like, Melanie.
Melanie. Yeah, there's also a You Got Pinned chant as well.
Yeah, that's another one. Jericho does not like Melanie very much, apparently.
Apparently she's put on weight since college and everyone goes, oh.
Scorpio Sky's response is perfect in that he's like, I like big butts.
Yeah, he's like, I
can't lie. Oh, it's great. It's just this really nice back and forth, right? Now, all of this is to the end of setting up a singles match next week, which I kind of wasn't expecting, right?
Yeah.
Although I did say to you, I believe, last week that Scorpio Sky can and probably should be a single star at some point. He seems by far like the one with the most potential in that area, specifically out of SCU. To me.
Definitely. I think, honestly, the more I've thought about it, I think SCU is just going to be a vehicle to kind of propel Scorpio Sky into a singles run.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at this point. They do some pretty cool like mental trickery on Jericho, right? They kind of exploit his ego a bit, because they're like... they're like... So they kind of goad him into giving Scorpio Sky the match next week, right? And then they're like, I can't remember which member of the SCU was, but they're like, sorry, as long as it's not for the belt, we don't want it for the AEW title.
Yeah, she's like, I haven't put the work in. I haven't done enough work.
Yeah, he's like, look, we need time. We need time for a camp, man. Like, we need like months, 1 month, 2 months. And Jericho's like, you want time, do you? Well, how about like 1 week? Next week, that's when I'll fight you. And then one of them's like, oh, at least it's not for the title, man. Like, and Scorpio's like, yeah, thank God, I really didn't want a shot at the title. Like, I really don't want the title. And just like, oh, you don't want the title, do you? You don't want it to be for the title, huh? Well, joke's on you, it's for the title.
Yeah, and they're like, oh no.
It's really dumb. It's really dumb.
Great, that it shows it's more character building for Jericho and SCU, right?
Yeah,
because it shows Jericho's this like that he isn't the smartest guy in the world. He's not.
He has moments of genius, but he's usually he gets baited very easily.
Yeah, he's just like, no, screw you, I'm Jericho. I'm the
best. We then get the Inner Circle come out for a beatdown, right? We get Santana and Ortiz, or Proud and Powerful. Sammy Guevara comes out. Yeah. They handcuff SU to the ropes, except Scorpio Sky, and they beat him down for a bit. Then we get a kind of a random savior, right?
I mean, yeah.
So we get Jurassic Express come out. And Dusty Am I thinking of the right set? It's Justin, right? We get the Elite come out. No, I'm thinking of the wrong section. It's alright, don't worry, ignore me.
Yeah, that's the
I'm thinking of the next one. Yeah, we'll get
Yeah,
so we get Jurassic Express come out to kind of back them up. We end up getting a face-off between Jake Hager and Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
Which, in honesty, truth, until I saw it, I didn't know I wanted it.
I didn't know I wanted it until I knew that I wanted it. Until they showed me.
And this is what I was referring to earlier when there's the section with the other two big... Because again, man, I forget how big Jake Hager is till you put him next to someone who I know is huge, like Luchasaurus. And it looks like they're about to fight. They give a good tease for it. The crowd's loving it. And Hager, being a good heel, just rolls out the ring. He's like, nah, not now. And I don't know if that's going to be a build-up for later on, or if that's just a way of getting Luchasaurus into the ring for the next section, as we'll talk about. Is that going to be a feud? So what do you reckon?
I don't know. I don't know what his first match is going to be, because the problem is his first match has to be good.
Yes.
I don't think it has to be a victory.
I think it has to. I don't think he can have a clean loss to someone who isn't very highly booked, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. Luchasaurus, I think, is kind of widely accepted as being quite high on the power ranking levels, right? If we have to be a little bit nerdy about it, but yeah, it's a bit of a weird one that they teased it. But again, it's because I think they're the only Luchasaurus is one of the few people that can stand in front of Hager and look like he's kind of on level physically.
Yeah.
But yeah, they face off. Hager's like, nope. He rolls out the ring. They all leave essentially.
Yeah.
What have we got next? Also, all in all, this was a great. This was a great section.
The whole section was really good.
I loved it.
Sorry.
Go on.
I was just going to say the next section we've got is Peter Avalon, the librarian, versus Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
You get no points for predicting how this is going to go.
Again, I love the librarian. I think he's hilarious.
He's growing on me. Like for someone who is just a professional jobber.
Yeah, he reminds me of Kurt Hawkins.
A really good one. True, yeah.
Right? Like, I think the character's going to end up being, why can't I get a win?
He's just like, man, maybe I should just go back to the library.
Yeah.
I should just study. I need to study my book.
Oh my god!
What?
I just realised why he's got dinosaur books.
Yeah. Yeah, I said earlier, it's foreshadowing. He's a master
he's studying his opponent.
Yeah.
Because Luchasaurus is an actual dinosaur. But they're all kids' books.
Have you just had a Phoenix Down moment?
Everything makes sense. He's a genius.
Oh my god.
Avalon, you hero. It doesn't help much because he gets crushed. Right?
Yeah, I think he gets punched once and then suplexed and then held. He got pinned with one hand.
Yes. Well, so he gets question mark kicked, right? He gets big flick, which again is really impressive that Luchasaurus does these cool kicks.
Yeah, true.
He hits this kick, hits some sort of big slam. I'm not even sure how to describe it. And then, just pins him. That's it. And I guess it's just to show Luchasaurus fighting again because he's just come back, right? You want to make sure that everyone who started watching since he got injured knows that he is just going to crush people, right?
Remembers how powerful he's supposed to be, right?
Even if it's just by beating up a librarian.
Sure. Dinosaur versus librarian. Take that, WWE.
What have we got after this? Because there's really not much. I can't think of anything else to say about that.
No, it's we've spent longer talking about it than the match was. So
yes, true.
It's Proud and Powerful versus Private Party.
Yes, probably my match of the night. Reluctantly is one of. This is also the match with the biggest confusing element of this show, though. It's in fact two of them. We'll get to it because it's weird. In general, though, really good, right?
It was a really good match.
There's like some solid back and forth at the beginning. Man, Santana every week that he wrestles blows me away. Like he gets better and better. Ortiz is really fun. There's nothing against Ortiz, but Santana is the one that I consistently go, oh wow, okay, you can actually do that. So he hits like this beautiful, I think it's a German suplex pretty early on. It's a deadlift German suplex onto Mark Quinn, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And he does this perfect bridge. I know it's such a nerdy wrestling thing to notice, but he's up on his toes. Oh, it's just great. It's just awesome, right?
Mm.
There's the general story of this seems to be Mark Quinn is getting dunked by both of them, right? What have you got to say about this match, Josh? What do you like? What do you dislike? I'm just sitting here rambling. You're being very quiet.
No, it's all good. It's not a lot really. Like they've got some really cool spots in there. It's kind of following the formula that a lot of private party matches have.
What, the Isaiah's the hot tag, right?
Yeah, like Mark Quinn takes a load of beating, and then Isaiah comes in with the hot tag, does some flippy stuff, and then the match reaches its conclusion, whichever way it goes.
I did like there's a couple of really cool spots in this, like Ortiz doing the Tiger Claws.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's a gimmick he has. I don't know why he takes his gloves off and gets his claws out. But it's great.
The back rake. And Jay, I was like, I've never seen anyone tap to the back. No, you haven't.
Yeah. There's a lot of really. So one thing I did notice, and this is, I think, just kind of a comment, sorry, on how good the tag teams are in general, and especially Proud Powerful. The amount of this is like a wrestling buzz term you hear commentators say, but the amount of dynamic offense, like this kind of a lot of tag team work, right, between the two of them. This is really good. They work so well as a team. For example, at one point we get this very strange suplex spot where Santana picks up Mark Quinn into like a stalling suplex, and he just walks over to the corner. Ortiz tags himself in, and then they kind of just switch him from person to person for like a good minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah,
they just keep
they do it like
forth.
3 or 4 times. Yeah, they just keep doing it back and forth like 3 times.
I really liked it. It was dumb. It's a very silly wrestling sort of concept.
It was.
But I liked it anyway.
True.
Let's talk about not the blemish on this match. That's probably implying that it colours the rest of it. It doesn't. But the oddity of this match. Yeah. Do you want to take us through this? Because I've got very confusing notes on this.
I'm the same, because I honestly still don't know what was truthfully happening towards the end of this match. So the league, well, I don't even want to get into who the legal people were. But
that's the second confusing thing about this. So,
so the 2 people in the ring are Isaiah Cassidy and Ortiz.
Yes.
And Isaiah Cassidy hits a Canadian Destroyer on Ortiz and pins him 1, 2, what looks like a 3. The pin gets broken up. The wrestlers just let go of each other because they think it's a 3. And the ref stands up and says 2, and then points at Santana, who supposedly tried to pull him out of the ring.
Yeah, so... and we rewound it to look at it, because I was really confused. And the ref definitely kind of moves his leg back towards the apron. So I can see that was definitely meant to be the spot, right? Was that Santana was to grab the ref and stop the pin happening.
Yeah.
Now, the camera angle that we see, you can't see outside the ring.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe, I'm not saying it's impossible, it was just a really bad angle, and that did happen, but we just didn't see it. But it definitely doesn't look that way. It looks like that was meant to. The ref kind of improvised a little bit, and Santana might be a second or so off beat. Now, the reason I think it was a fuck up and not just a weird angle is that the commentary are also confused, and they try and pass it off, or what feels like they tried to pass off, as another excuse for it happening shortly after, which is them saying, "Oh no, it looks like the legal man. The legal man was wrong, right? The wrong person's in the ring," and that confused me more. Me and you, because I think we were just starting to figure out what was meant to have happened, and we were just kind of like, "Okay, fine, whatever. It's wrestling. It happens. It's whatever." And then they say that, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, what? Now I'm confused about who the legal man is." I was following until this point. I think I'm pretty sure all the legal men were in the ring, right? It's not just me.
Well, the thing that makes it confusing was after that happened, Ortiz and Isaiah continue to wrestle.
Yeah, they're still legal in the ring
without a tag, and like that. I don't know.
Again, I feel like commentary was trying to not cover up it, but trying to present. I think they probably realized how it looked from like a viewer point of view, and went, "Oh, that was what it was. It was this other reason."
Yeah,
it's just kind of weird.
Like I get it. Things go wrong at wrestling shows. Like I'm not trying to be.
No, 100%.
It was just a weird.
It was a weird response, I think.
Yeah.
And especially because I just think the commentary probably made it worse. Because again, I was willing to be like, whatever, I probably just missed it. And then the commentary confused me twice. I'm like, no, wait, all right, stop, wait. I didn't go back and check. But other than that, we get a... So, okay, right, sorry, there's one other... I've got to bring one other thing up. Yeah. And this isn't a match critique, sorry. This is... I think it was Shivani, who I don't usually call out. It's 99% of the time when I say something about commentary, it's JR being a bit weird.
Yeah.
Now, at one point, Proud and Powerful pull out their... Is it slapjack?
Yeah.
Whatever I think it's meant to be baseballs inside of a sock.
Baseballs in a sock. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's just tennis balls or foam balls because of how light it looks, but whatever. They pull out from under the ring. And Shivani is like, where is it? I think that they left the slapjack there after the last segment. After they came out and beat down and got involved in all this sort of stuff.
Mm.
Now, they didn't.
Didn't they, though?
They 100% didn't. They walked off with it.
But they might have left another one.
No, what?
A replacement one. Slapjack.
I'm calling some bullshit on this. They they literally showed them walking off.
They showed it on camera. That was
they weren't secretive about showing off that they were leaving with the slapjack. Again, it's not like a big problem. It's just really confusing to me that these little things keep happening, right? All in all, though, I love this match. We get a big a gin and juice at the end, right? The slapjack comes out. Ref, I think, sees it, right? No, sorry. Nick Jackson comes out and disarms them.
Yeah.
Hit a big gin and juice, which is like this kind of a flip off the top rope into a cutter, right?
Yeah.
Or a hurricanrana, I think, off the top.
Yes.
Some sort of rana. Into a gin and juice, private party win, which kind of surprised me, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, like we said before, I don't think Proud and Powerful really need to win. Like, it would be nice for them to win. I'd enjoy them winning.
Yeah.
But I don't think they need it for story. They're so over and they're so like I don't know how to say it. They're so interesting in terms of like their characters and their character work that you don't need for them to win all the time.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's a good summation. Especially because they don't look weak in this. They still come across as really strong, right?
Definitely.
As they have done, I think, in most of the even matches they've lost, they never look bad.
Yeah.
I'm curious where the private party's going. That's my main question.
Yeah, they seem so all over the place, honestly, in terms of like booking.
I'm just not
because
sure.
Like they beat the Young Bucks, they like knock the Young Bucks out of the tag tournament, and they do all this other stuff, and then they just randomly lose all the. I don't really get it, truthfully.
Because they're not in the rankings, or they weren't before this show, right? They were not in the top 5. We will go over the power rankings at the end of this, a little bit of a discussion about where we think probably things lie at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get to it then. But overall, this was a really good match. Other than again, there's confusing spots. Do you want to take us through this next promo, Josh? Then, because this is confusing.
No, I love this promo. This promo is awesome. So you cut to Kenny Omega, and he's bench pressing some weights, right? And he's like talking. What? He's talking to the guy that spotted him. He's like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Nakazawa.
Yeah. Last one. Yeah, Nakazawa. And he's like, yeah, got it. Oh, and he puts him down. He benches him on the thing, and he sits up. He pops up, and the camera zooms out, and it's just the bar with 2 little 5-pound weights on each.
Yeah, like nothing.
Like little tiny weights. And then he starts talking. He starts talking about the match he's going to have next week against Pac. And he's talking about how John Moxley cleaned up the last scraps or whatever of his. I don't know whether he said sanity, but that he's losing it.
He was like, I've kind of lost myself, right? I'm doing all this stuff I wouldn't usually do. I'm doing hardcore and all this sort of stuff. And I've lost kind of. I'm not being true to myself. That sort of argument, right?
Yeah. And he's like, I tried to trace back to where it all went wrong, and it was with you, Pac, at Full Gear.
Yeah, because he's like,
right?
I've lost my marbles, and I think I found the cause. And that's the quote he says.
So yeah, he's just basically calling out Pac and simultaneously Moxley, kind of at the same time.
Yeah, well, he's like, they've given me a chance. I think the quote is, they've given me a chance for revenge, right, against Pac.
Yeah.
And to press the reset button. I don't know what this means. I'm curious if this is, because my criticism of Omega has always been he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, but his character, I don't know what the character is other than the fact he's a great wrestler.
He's a good wrestler, man. Yeah.
Right? It's not that he's bad in terms of promos and stuff. It's just there's never been too much there to me. So this is good, I think. The fact he like seems to be developing a bit more and like having like this kind of edge, for lack of a better term.
Well, just a different like facet to his character, right? The idea that he's not just winning something and he's kind of like losing it at that prospect.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a heel turn of some sort.
Maybe.
That'd be kind of weird. Definitely it's not, I don't think it's like it's not shoo-in for that happening, but I wouldn't be surprised if he loses against Pac and just snaps.
Yeah.
He doesn't get the revenge he like is setting himself up for, right?
I told you, man, he's got the hair for it already. He could just become fucking Mankind.
I'd be game. We can have like the redemption of Kenny Omega over the next course of a year.
Yeah,
or so, right? When he regains his sanity. Yeah, weird little promo. And then he lays back down on the bench, asks Nakazawa to put on some more weights.
He's like double the weight.
Yeah, so he doubles one of the weights. I mean, he puts one of like extra like £5 weight on the other side. Goes to do the other one. Kenny's like, no, just that one side.
It's like just the one side, and then he goes to press it, and it's like the heavier side's way further down than the other side.
Yeah, it's very strange. He can't quite lift. It's weird. It's very weird.
So yeah, then our last match is John Moxley versus Darby.
John. I think we were both referring to different things there.
What? What?
I'll go for the Seth Rollins. John. Sorry, you carry on, please.
Yeah, so it's kind of a weird entrance, really, from both of them. Like, you've got Allen's like pre-match VT starts to play, and it's like him riding around on a skateboard with a body bag that's got Mox written on it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And then him at some kind of, I haven't actually looked it up to see where it was, but some kind of metal or hardcore gig.
Sure.
And he zips himself up in the Mox body bag and starts crowd surfing. Which is actually a cool image, to be fair.
It looks cool. I don't understand it, but it looks cool.
Yeah. And then Moxley comes in through the crowd in his normal way.
Doesn't get all the way in the ring, though.
Nope, just gets absolutely taken out by a really fast suicide dive from Darby Allin.
I'm usually not a fan of dives because they look not soft. They still like they hurt, but they just don't let it hurt as much as they kind of get sold to hurt, right? Because you have to kind of protect yourself and the other person. Darby Allin apparently doesn't. Darby Allin's like, no, I'm just going to jump into you as fast as I can. I'm just going to like torpedo you, and you're going to take it. Which I guess he can do because he's a smaller guy. The size difference is apparent here. I think he's only 5'8" or so, really kind of small dude.
Yeah.
But he does a couple of dives in this show, and it's savage. Like, they really are brutal.
Yeah. That's the thing. He's just taking bumps left and right like an absolute nutcase. Like
that's the story of this match, right? It's him selling.
Yeah, like I don't want to turn it into like a moment by moment commentary on the match, but it is just someone who's really good at doing like not hardcore wrestling, but like quite stiff wrestling, and someone who doesn't care about taking a load of really stiff hits.
Yes. So for example, there's a huge drop kick, there's a huge elbow, and he just sells like he's been shot with a shotgun. It's amazing. Like it's really fun to watch because I'm assuming he's fine, right?
I assume he's not actually.
He's a very good wrestler. Like that's what this is. He's just really good at like. There's one bit of weirdness with like a crossbody attempt. Doesn't quite work, but they recover really well for it, so I'm not going to criticize it. Moxie's really dominant in this match. That's the general overarching like thing. Again, it gives Allin or Darby Allin this kind of ability to sell like a madman. There was some body bag weirdness at the end, right? Because he brings the body bag down with him.
Man, Yeah, they need to work on ref's discretion in AEW in general, because the stuff some people get away with.
Like biting? We'll get to that in a little bit. There's a lot of biting in this match. It won Moxley the match. He bites Allin on the nose in front of the ref.
Yeah, like...
You said that Allin bit Moxley on the hand earlier. I'm like, well, that's not okay either.
Yeah.
Like, neither of these things should be allowed.
Yeah.
The ending's a horrifically stiff avalanche DDT, right?
Yeah,
I have no idea. I don't know
it
how
actually looked like it really hurt. I don't know how you do that without actually being hurt, truthfully.
No, it was horrific. No, great match. Again, Darby Allin's one of these guys that I... Oh, for some reason, why is he... Don't wear short shorts and tights. That's a weird look.
It's fine.
I was like, I literally, as he was coming down the ring, I was like, I like his look. He looks cool. And then we see him wrestling. I'm like, wait a minute.
It's nearly 2020, dude. You just got to live your truth, all right? You just got.
I don't. Sure, unless your truth is short shorts and tights.
And listening to Type Zero Negative.
Oh my god, I'm so triggered. I'm so triggered by you right now. I hope someone else in the list this is also triggered by that.
What?
No, nothing, dude. Go listen to Type Zero Negative again, right?
Yeah.
Oh god.
What? You've got to become the troll, dude, or you get trolled. That's how it works.
Overall, great match. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I think my concern with this was that I think the ending was kind of an obvious one. They did have me a few times.
Yeah.
There are a few times where it was close.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
just like the near falls that actually felt like near falls. You're not just like, well, he's kicking out of this one. 1, 2, there it is. Like there was actually a lot of like
every
near
time
threes.
I was like, oh, okay, all right, fair enough. But that it was, again, like I said, they did have me. I think the benefit of this was, despite that being a predictable ending, it made Darby Allin look really strong.
Yeah.
It made him look tough as nails. I think that was the point of it. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
That's the last thing on the show, right? They literally nothing else happened.
They fade with the John Moxley still winning. He's in the ring doing his celebration stuff.
Yeah. Overall, Josh, what did you think of this show?
The matches were really good. Definitely watch the matches. And I like the storytelling stuff. Honestly, I think it was a pretty solid show.
I think the promos were great. The two main ones we got. Obviously, I know all three of them. They're all great. This whole show was great. I got nothing bad to say about it. Again, there's some mess ups here and there. It's gonna happen. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's no weak. Okay, no, the weak match. There was a weak match. Baker's match. I don't understand. Don't get it.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think this is going to come off as maybe hateful towards Baker, but it's not. I just don't get it. I don't understand it.
I'm borderline. I just don't care anymore. I gave her a chance at the start. I'm like, okay, I don't. This gimmick is just a bit weird to me. I'm not really a fan. Yeah. We'll see where it goes. Again, she could still impress me, right? And you and everyone. Not that she she has to impress me specifically, of course. I'm sure there are fans of Baker, but that's definitely the point. Every time she pops up, I'm like, okay, this is my get a drink moment.
Yeah.
No, real solid. Again, much better than last week. It was nice that I think last week was just kind of a blip. They weren't maybe not quite sure how to follow the pay-per-view up specifically.
Yeah, I agree.
Real good. Let's have a quick chat, Josh, about the rankings, shall we?
Yeah, sure. I'm down.
So let's. We haven't got this week's rankings yet because we shoot these, of course, on a Thursday, and the rankings drop on Fridays.
Yep.
So, as a little bit of fun, I'm going to go through the rankings as they stood last week, at the end of last week, before this show. And I want to see if we can kind of figure out what's going to change based on what happened this week. Okay?
Yeah.
So, the tag teams. Let's do tag teams first.
Sure.
The tag teams, as of the end of last week, were ranked from 1 to 5 in Lucha Bros, Proud and Powerful, the Young Bucks, Best Friends, and the Dark Order. Now, Best Friends being there is amazing to me, right?
What?
No, they're fine. They're not, but they're a really good tag team.
Yeah.
Power level wise, you're booking. They're ranked higher than like, Private Party, for example.
Yeah, super weird the Private Party aren't there to me, but whatever.
Do you think they might be now after this win
Um,
on Proud Powerful?
yeah, they kind of have to be, right? They've got to be above best friends at the very least.
This was Proud and Powerful's first loss, apparently.
Yeah. Like, they have to be at least fourth, right? Or third, even.
I would imagine they'll just go to fourth or fifth, and they'll
Yeah.
either replace best friends or I'm not sure about the Dark Order. I don't know where they're going to slot in, right? Because they've technically got less losses than the best friends. So again, it's a little bit confusing me how they weight these wins and losses, which is the kind of the out they've got, I think, from having a pure win-loss record.
Yeah, having it purely matter on win-loss, yeah.
They've got discretion to be able to say, well, no, they technically lost against a team that was way better than them, so it didn't hurt them as much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luchasaurus being number one's kind of obvious. They'll probably stay there, right? That's not going to change.
Until they challenge someone, right? SCU, or they get beaten by one of the twos or three.
Any other changes? I guess we haven't had any other tag matches this week, right?
Not really, no. That's the only one of note.
Jurassic Express, I think, would be interesting once they get Luchasaurus back in there. I'm curious where they end up.
Yeah, I mean, I think they had to take a kind of a rain check on them while Luchasaurus recovered, and I'm probably interested to see where they...
I feel they've got to end up ranking higher than, say, the Best Friends, for example. I don't mean this isn't me hating on the Best Friends. They just don't strike me.
This is a hate campaign against the Best Friends.
Look, man, Chuck Taylor. That's the other guy's name. They don't strike me as like a serious contendership. To be fair, I'm not quite sure Jurassic Express do it. They are dinosaurs and a person who lives in the jungle. But
yeah, that's the most powerful wrestler. An actual dinosaur. How'd you beat that? How'd you out wrestle a dinosaur?
Let's move on. Let's do the women's rankings, because this is one where I don't think there's going to be very much motion at all.
No,
but there is going to be one change, I think. It's kind of obvious. So, as of the end of last week, we had Britt Baker as number one contender. Hikaru Shida, Emi Sakura, Nyla Rose, and then Allin. What's your prediction here, Josh?
I don't know, to be honest. Like, obviously, Britt Baker's gone down and Shida's gone up, probably, but...
I mean, that's all that would have changed, right? No one else was in this match.
That, there isn't a lot. Like, I still haven't watched Dark. I know we keep promising to, but I still haven't actually gone and watched all of it.
For the record, I haven't promised to. I said we should. Maybe.
Sure,
I'm covering my own butt here. At some point, I will check out Dark. But again, Allin is apparently doing great in Dark.
Yeah, apparently she's doing really well.
Looking at her record before this, a lot of her wins seem to come from tags, because she's 3-2 overall and 1-2 in singles. So both of her losses come from singles matches.
Okay.
So it's interesting that she's ranked 5th, but I think that's just more of a comment on the fact that there's not many women's matches happening at the minute.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see where people like B. Priestley end up.
Yes, exactly.
Because we got B. Priestley, Jamie Hayter, like a few people that just aren't on the top 5, despite having.
I think it's
like,
because they've only really done tag matches. I think Hayter's had one single match she lost,
2?
right?
I think she had 2.
I thought the other one was a tag match.
Oh no, yeah, she's had a tag. Sorry.
She had one tag, one singles match. I think she won the tag match, lost the singles match. So I can see why she's not ranked yet, but like you said, I am curious where she's going to land. They just need to have a couple more wins matches to get these rankings to start lining up and making sense. For example, Awesome Kong, where's she going to end up on this whole thing?
Yeah.
Nyla Rose, is she going to stay where she's got a lot more losses than I thought she did. She's at 2-3.
Which is really weird, but whatever.
Sakura was obviously number one contender for all this, but she lost to Riho at Full Gear. Yeah, so there's not too much promotion on the women's rankings, I don't think. So now the main, not the main one, the one we're going to see most of the movement, I think, is the men's singles.
Yeah.
So we've got Pac is the current number one contender as of going up last week, after beating Hangman, of course, last week.
Yep.
Cody is ranked second, Hangman Page at third, Moxley at 4th, and Darby Allin at 5th. Do you think there's going to be any motion here at all?
Nope.
Nice.
Like, it's, if the match had gone differently, Darby Allin Moxley, then maybe, but I don't see any reason to change any of it.
Yeah, I still think Darby Allin will probably be 5th.
Yeah.
He goes down to, he's at 4-3-1 now in terms of a record. In singles, I should be specific, but
yeah, I mean that's a fine singles record currently.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of men's stars who like haven't had many matches. I think that's probably one of the things they need to do as a company is maybe try and like. There's a lot of people they need to have in singles competition, right? Just show them off a little bit, get them the mix up the rankings because at the minute we are going to end up in a situation where you've kind of got the top 6-7 guys in the rankings have 10 times the matches of everyone else.
Yeah,
which makes sense from a popularity point of view, but
you need an opportunity for the other guys to actually do stuff like that.
Well,
right?
Especially if these win-loss matter in the story, right?
Yeah,
because otherwise they're theoretically, in terms of writing,
Yeah.
how can you ever get them to do anything if they're 100 losses lower? Obviously not 100, but
well, they'd also be like, hey, why am I not getting as many matches as this guy and this guy who are the
Yes.
same as me? Like, yeah.
we have learned recently, I believe, wasn't it? There's going to be a reset of win-loss.
Annual reset. Yeah,
which makes sense. You
totally.
need that, right, to be able to kind of have a again even for just the new people coming into the company, right? Again, if we look at Park at the minute, he's at 4-1-1. If you assume that keeps going up and up, and let's say some super powerhouse comes in, he can't justify being anywhere near a number 1 contender, even though he might technically need to be for story reasons, right?
Yeah. Because he can't be like 1-0 going against someone that's 10-2 something.
Exactly,
else,
right. But again, I like the fact that they're doing a yearly reset. We will be having that coming up in really only, a month or two then?
Yeah, I assume they're doing it. It's not going to be like the anniversary of their first show, right? It will just be the start of the year.
I do believe one of the Young Bucks said in an interview it would be kind of the start of the year.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Don't get me wrong, they could obviously still change that and make me look really stupid, but...
well, it's not the first time.
Wow. Wow. That's big talk coming from a man who lost the predictions, isn't it?
Oh God.
1-0, man. Come on, you got to earn your right to shit talk.
Look, MJF's your boy, all right? He did. He won you that predictions.
I love that dude so much. I keep looking at social media every now and then, and it's just gold.
He is. Like, if you ever want to look into MJF, sure, watch his other matches, but definitely watch his interviews. And it's like Twitter presence and stuff. It's actually funny.
Anyway, we'll wrap this up for now. We've rambled enough. We were a bit all over the place this week, but hopefully we got our opinions out there. If you've got any comments or anything, as usual, leave them down below. We'll get to them. Any final comments, Josh?
No. Watch the product.
Don't call it a product. Oh,
the
God. I hate
the wrestling product.
I'm going to edit this out. No product. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for listening to this episode of One Rope Short of a Ring. You can find us on Patreon at Into the Mountains, on Twitter at MountainsPod, and on YouTube at Into the Mountains Media for more podcasts like this and our other work.